Iboe gane ku riunga kiri channel yeje Irene Karamuta Masaki na inkaga monono ntubwa gwitekeria kundingatira na nkuruki to support to Kenya 3600 subscribers. We are growing. Gato gukora amero na inda kwireje ni channel ya channel ya kureta ngono cia mwanya na ngono cia gutwikira inya na gututhomithia ati rugendo ruru itawa muture itajani na isafari muntu agwitira kiri barabara ya oku twacemania ja tugashare ni kenda kinyagwo wona otewenka na I have my pastor. I have my pastor. I have my pastor who is very young. So today we're going to write mantu ja kuthoma about other things. Bwenda other things bukambira ndi mwete ikenda tukare maybe to read about ndukembe then unto I know the course that he is taking or he is partaking because yomba gutetheria mono nto babethekire mantu ja maingi behave hivyo na cho fani hizi za kuingia kulewa ngawaka mitundu ikari you cannot be anything lazima withdraw funny now you looking funny can recognized. You can be decent and go far. That's so true. Karibu sana kile channel yetu ukija kuida wote subscribe ite kizungu ukija kuida wote subscribe kile channel yeze na twambaniri turiamwa. Yes, my pastor. How are you?
Lakini utabe na tini ndakugwatithaniria murano.
Ai baize muro menya bagutaga ore mwana.
No baterio ngubero.
Hapana, ni bagumenya ri?
No ubere ogu. Bakathogania wiya.
Ari mbira atiri gakwenda bumenya ye single namba ngekira.
Was that necessary?
Menya
necessary.
Ari manyari umbira mbuge utagwatithania murano. Ne wenda twaria murano munkambere utakinyau. Utagwatithania murano inyawe ngo utagwatithania jwaku. So ayu tunoria pastor kweli. Are you single and searching?
Topic wewe.
Are you single? Are you single and searching?
Single and searching.
Single and searching. Oh my God. Nkaba namba?
Ari.
Amuna bahati. Social media yake Onesmus Bundi.
Sawa.
Social media. Na mkitaka nyaanda kumweta jo tumiria kansene no za young person najua unaweza na crush. Wendo mweta iza gutumiria hatakuja keja na umero sana na Nairobi na ale bukenda na arabu inde bubeta kuria rais amero. The percentage area nene is social media even to you I can bet ni amero barabe bago follow it.
The high percentage but
when it comes
in Nairobi and most of them even are a bit young. They are young people.
About 25 now, online 24. And
then Instagram they amero. Instagram amero.
Ibare mero. Into alemero ne uo.
Instagram TikTok mono amero.
Na amero by TikTok.
TikTok amero ni
TikTok ni mbeja mafua marioka. Mera TikTok nende mere. Lakini dai ingusoka na ondo soka na bingi kawe kaera sorry ewe mbona wageta go dance ntebela go dance
are in on TikTok sometimes I usually see Ameru Kinyaba be diaspora they get in and sometimes we usually have conversations as Marians and mostly as young people sometimes in Bukumaga TikTok and tegunguma ko dance but I go live and
live
and the people come in when I have a theme that I want to have a discussion about.
That one you at least nya TikTok ucheta
Beta Onesmus Bundi bado.
Onesmus Bundi.
Instagram ni Onesmus Bundi still.
Na Facebook
Onesmus Bundi.
Na TikTok discussion hiyo vile I know it's kuhusu youth sana.
Yeah, it's different discussions concerning the life of young people, the life of the biblical view of a young person, maybe the young person in the city, the view of the city in the Bible, because most of the times we are not able to capture ourselves biblically when it comes to the city context. But now a young person, you can fit in the city and still implement the word.
Chitam Onesmus Bundi. Te Bundi. Onesmus Bundi.
Wewe ngwa.
Nimekufollow.
Thank you.
Chintroduce nyote chintroduce.
Oni litala kompeta Onesmus Bundi Muriuki. Betaron de mutana wa Stephen Muriuki. Na Stephen Muriuki mutana ya Chonge. Godfrey. Chonge Godfrey mutana mtoto Ramira. Na that's now the family tree up to the fourth generation. I believe you get the mwaka fourth generation. So go for the first, the second, and the third. Now only need the fourth now. I'm a born again Christian. And kumete saint chetigania. Kianja hii.
Adia tiania bwana. Nenda wali
mbume tiania. Tiania kianja hii.
Good.
Na au ni okweto. Wakinya kianja hii. Akioke yakuwa wewe kwa chonge. Chonge iba ile kianja hii. Kwa chonge machant. Na kwa chonge ndi my grandfather. So vera chonge ro Methodist. Babikia.
Ndeni kajera kawo tonya. Methodist kianja hii.
Ari. Nae kuraja. Kwa hiyo kianja hii market, just market center. Kwa market kianja hii. Just
ita kanyamaga katongia teka. Kanguru au kianja hii.
Kanguru nkokwata nyara ari. Nkokwata nyara.
Ai kianja ya kianja hii. Kanyamaga
karibu kianja.
Kianja hii beje kuruga kanyama kanguru.
You are much welcome kianja hii.
Thank you.
Na kinyala injoko yatonga kuira.
Kwa nini kenda kwa nguru?
No problem.
No le nguru?
Teni.
Ibaba ko. Mwere ntukwira kabanga kuri dia tuketa kuri. Kudenja. Tuketa kuri.
Yeno tukwanda kuri thi kuri kwa.
Ende no mbira narethetie.
Sawa.
Eda narethetie ntukwira kubangire kuri. Tafadhali antare.
No problem. Nkamwira. Ekamuginira. Achara kaigwa.
Aya ukurira kianja kwa Gichonge na Muriuki.
Onde product ya ukorana bajo. Kumande miaka mugwanja. So from 7 years manyani ara mwana agetina to the self realization. Ile kiongo kianja ile kukwata manto. So kumande 7 years mwanka narua. I've grown with my grandparents. My mom and dad, they separated while I was, I think I was 2.5 out. That's when my parents separated. Kutiwa na my dad, in the course of time, my mom ambejera, but ambejera illegally. Ata ambojera legally. We stayed with her for 1.5 years.
Iba hizi na wetere?
Jojone umete mundene onto mezo enamda lairangi. So na kwa mama moramba. So re jojo mundene with a lairangi, you must go through moramba. So she was passing by. My mom to akara kwa my grandmother on my mother's side. So kake onto Erimania. So akaraga. So my grandmother nejaga. Nontonai my grandmother on the other side patina na the other grandmother. My grandmother nejaga akeja na mugate tena akuruka. 1.5 years later my dad na mbejere. They came and took me. Tueta kukara nawe. We stayed with my dad. My dad by then naendagia roje. So tuetanagia noe in everything that he was doing. Until when I think few months later, my dad, due to the conflict, said about neona my mom. and I will be transferred to Nyeri, where my aunt is married. Again, a bit Ankara now. The only people who know that I'm in Nyeri are my family members. That is on my father's side. So my dad's side, area, my aunt Akarenani. So that now we avoid that conflict between my mom and my dad, and to avoid exposing me to such problems at that early age. So my aunt, Dakarako my aunt for no, from now when I was 3 all the way to when I was 7. I stayed in my aunt's place. Actually, in Ondanjerinya school. I started my school at Endarasha Primary. Endarasha Primary School. Very fluent actually. So Ndakarano for that period. To Akaragana my cousin, because my cousin is 1 year younger than me. So to Akara now until when now my aunt and her in-laws, things didn't go well. But my uncle who has married my aunt, he loved me. He treated me so well. But now, due to the treatment of the in-laws, I could not accommodate. So I called to be brought back home. Jojo no ya mbejire kuma now. So from then, when I was 7 years, Dakarana na Jojo kuma until death. So that's the growth of Onesmus with Muriuki na Gechonge.
Ugucoka kianza riu umite Nyeri wetere wetha skuru iriku?
Ndikuma Nyeri ndaumire Endarasha Primary. So ndikweja Jojo baugire my grandmother by then was working at Miadhene District Hospital. She was working in the catering department. She's a cateress. So akitaganguge now, my grandfather also by then was serving at Kenjai Polytechnic as the manager. So they could not find time for me to go to a primary until that time before when they go for job and when they come when a gap, and also bearing in mind what had happened earlier. My mom had taken me earlier. So to avoid all those things and to avoid the conflict with their son, I was taken to Lokunono Central Academy. So Lokunono Central Academy, they did the interview. I went to class 1. So I didn't make to go for class 1. So I had to redo Nursery B. Nursery B. But it was very painful to me to repeat. From when I was young, I think, when I just reflect my history, I'm one of the people who to me it's so bad. It sounds very nasty to me. Ntenda angamantu ja no sokere hewa titi angate remwenya mpe ingoe izo mbona ko kamata chali seijere akaingo yenjo mumono
wakamata nege
kawa ketro ni kombo kamata ni konge kratso be amangeta ketro ante soka ukaire. So I went on in Lukunono Central Academy. Miss Josephine no yari na Nursery B. So Mrs. Mururu came from class 1 all the way to class 3. Class 3 during the August holiday, I didn't touch Okere school for the September December term. That the term touch Okere school. Touch Okere school November, and I remember it was November, I think 20th, 2 weeks before exam, because during the holiday of August, I had an accident personally. accident, it lives to be a history. Don't batije hiyo ni bara area. Sometimes you hear people talking about it, lakini batakumenya hiyo bakoira story yako. It was an accident. No, before they Lukunu Central Academy. Later on, I was sponsored by Compassion International. Compassion International gave me an opportunity now to be sponsored. I also joined the Methodist Church. The Methodist. Ito da watu ina matinda. Neuja Methodist. So I realized that I can do the play, I can do the dance. I was multi-gifted. I'm multi-gifted.
No, you are like that. Ojo only depressed and washe pocho kyoto meri. Pocho kairi wambere kurombera antu. Yani you are
lakini nyanaru wote ona no.
Ende tango kwera re. That is who you are.
Yes. So I'm multi-gifted. And they could realize all those Compassion International na ibari a competition. All the churches that has sponsored, that the students are sponsored or their children are sponsored, they were to meet and have a competition of the church at the field of Lubonu DC 714 na the number 0266. So ndeko na nambeu za kamurungu ambekera ntekoro meorerwa na ndeko ya Compassion dewe tabankine. One of my account number in a 266 somewhere. So it's a number that is inambete oderu haraka. So ndeko kuma so that day when a competition todekia and I emerged. I took the championships home. Championships. Different activities that I was doing. But now in the evening, tomara ito aka group. Tomara ka tugete, nagtutularo to ibambere. You are leading others in getting out and running home. So in the process, I had an accident. That accident, the message area is Onesmus is dead. And even the doctor, etakwa Karamuta, she was working then at Meru General. So Karamuta was my doctor then. It reached that time she announced that I'm gone. Is how things appeared. If I give hope, I'll give a false hope. But my grandmother there are some things she did. We can try a surgery. So I went to the theater. She told me later on, she told me it was a history on the theater from 8 p.m. all the way to 3 a.m. in the morning. So ndauma theater, I was okay. Na the gender Daukuma ward. The Daukuma ward. I think you are ward number 14. Now, at the end of October, that's when I was discharged. So that we can discharge. After I discharged, I went back to school. Now the November, not to in the bed rest. So I went back to school in November. Still under Mrs. Mururu. And so after then, Daddy Yake class 4. By God's grace, I was number 5 in the exam. Out of not reading the whole term and doing no revision, I was transferred for class 5 to Kanjalo boarding. That's now where I did my KCPE. Data Miadene boys. Then when I joined I was nominated to be the class representative in the CU. Then in Form 2, I became the fellowship coordinator. Form 3, I became the vice chairperson. Form 4, while I was the vice chairperson, I was also the vice chairperson of guidance and counseling, the peer counselors. So from 4, I became the chairperson of the peer counselors. Still being the vice chairperson due to performance, I dropped the chairperson in the peer counselors. Then I didn't get a direct entry to the university in Miadhene. During then I went after Miadhene boys. It was a traumatic time. I had a time that I had trauma. Oninda kinyere hantu that we wake no konenya Kenyanza. The 3/4 ni afa. The Kenyanza kiongo. Geta kyo kansene. Because my mind was nondo ndaije ndegwata grade ndigamba university
Direct.
na ndari university. Then I will now do theology. Theology ndio kuma ministry, and my life is ministry from there. So so kiri ndinga character development. In that time na my grandfather agedi on tune ntaijere oriendaga. So by the help of the current bishop of Nairobi, Naftali Gitonga, I went to his office. Na ndetire office ne inyawe mbona njira ni okairo ati mtu ati kona reverend otegetekia tomekire tangu mwanga karaha. By then he was my superintendent minister. Bekire tangu mwanga yangu antegero kaiwa hai. By the help of by his help through there is a session we had. Until mwanga soka naye mwanga soka kwa mwanga. By the time kiumau dari like okay, by the way
Life must go.
there is something that I'm meant to be. Now things worked better when now after I realized whom I want to be, I now came to a point that I thought now there is somebody who made me admire something in life. Manyago mtore hatumaga ukaigwa. I think I'm meant to be this. Kona riataya aumaite kenje Miadhene synod being the bishop. Gokeria tunjara ore okeragia keza na kitharimo kia muthia. I think
giving you goosebumps.
Irene karege igwikira nguo ndaigagwa tumpita mwere no miekire tunarua alafu nkamita ngakunenkera. Because I felt I think I'm meant not for ministry. And I go, if I happen to go out of this world without serving in the ministry, I'll have failed. So when then I met him, he gave me his story. Don't story and I go kumbe nyante kuraja. Antore tutiganite professor na uni. Tiganite kanto kanini mono. Kanto kai can catch up and make sure I have got what I want. That's when I told myself, now, until on direct entry, trenda kwanjiri certificate, I will go all the way to the point that I want to be. All the way. Nothing will stop me, whatever stands on my way, because I've already wasted a lot of time, and I need to get back to myself and bring this time back. Bring this time back and make sure now I am where I should be. Dokumakarumo technical. Na ewe my grandfather ansukumire. Oni ndenda ikuthithia music. I wanted really to do music.
Lakini time what is the music? You can come here. This is a great explore studios. Unafanya music. Si unaona everything is here. Unajua kwanza huko wende tu.
Actually mbezere ndaigua kana
kwenda otonya nde tutigana na interview. Otonya wine.
Umetukia music kidogo then interview no tomi bangire ntuko yayo.
Ande ntuko we music kwa kabanga. Ndio tinde kuona ura. The drum.
So naenda ndenda ikuthithia music. Ndaenda ikuthithia music na IT. I do them hand in hand. On the take what will help me in ministry. My grandfather ambirari ogorita the building technology. Tamoria na hizo ambirari ewingo gite korodira na ina mbesa. Nina na ino ina mbesa ri. Sende kazi. Ndathithia engineering tarikia. Doja maratasi engineering the inda hukumira field work. Toitaga ngugi na some of my peers. Nick nendelele na engineering. Eriko mungeria tiche kwa no rika ne mungeria. Itaga ngugi is it advocate Meru. Ito na group twari na toitaga tugiakaga na twaka nyomba ciari tatu we built 3 houses. Not that way, actually I think 3 or 4. I think 4. Na tugiaka doors were just opening, lakini na ito ndaria mistake imwe na kunde ndetaga connection chia jana ndaigwa ndafitin twamena na ira kintu kimwe in case beto weekend challenge anywhere nana betete otumiria kawera nairi no kwa na Thursday Friday Saturday Sunday nteko ngoita nkaura ngeza Monday ndeza Monday kwa ndo akinyire mwanka engineer ikitari mwe ambera muthaka ukeze gweta Monday ukeza nani mimi nani ndamwera sawa nekare
oga ngoge wasare
nekare ndeza kwani wote gweta mjengo ngeto so anto ange gwitangu as simple as that but that one I can just bring it a lesson in it. What you are meant to be will always push you.
It will always find its way.
It will always push you to doing it. No matter however you try to there is a way you try to pressure yourself okaichinyeri and taking out kaire with rimaga that is the same place that you are in. So to go naga finally ndeza ndakaranda ijoria ngogi tukariri kumenana na turi na ndo aviaza weekend no itirwe numire weekend no itire yange otoko ni nyakanya kura nguno nto Monday Tuesday Wednesday Thursday Friday Saturday Sunday no irirwe jo kanisa fulani otumiria that's when now I felt enough is enough. Tera bajo sonda vera na hivi kwenda tiko theology ambira tulienda kuivia diploma in engineering. Amere diploma in engineering ibagwe oni trend iweza kuivia diploma in theology. So ndo kumake kucho skuru nini now my by then my grandparents ibari be ko retire, so indari nde ko ya pension yao. So I had friends. One was Evangelist Douglas, Getile Omewas. I had made friends, Patitoem, photography, Mwalimu Boy, Munjure. They were my friends. I had made friends with people who are in the ministry, and they were doing it. So I called them Dabera Oningo the theology. By then, in the required na my grandfather Mwankanda mu convince fully that I want to do theology. So bakweza beza baraniria babangania manto. Then they called the larger group from my community around my village, my community. Beza mo, and they bachanga beza chakweta university with the diploma in theology. Join Presbyterian University of East Africa. I joined Presbyterian University of East Africa in the year 2021. That is my diploma, the woman at trimester, because I looked forward to redeeming my time. I wanted to redeem time completely. So the woman at trimester can't wait sitting at my holiday 2 weeks. Holiday, I think holiday and then around any degree. That is my diploma. And then I my diploma due to finances. I don't very graduate. But nine they go and graduate. I enrolled for the degree in the same institution.
Oh, endelea.
Jaja keja. Graduation ni just sawa tukiendelea na graduation, but I looked forward to let me be undergraduate, because it feels so bad when you meet with others who are your friends. Not only them, then the boys I was a friend to people, performers, prefects. Ogedo vice chair, my friend. Kama utegera wakona this guy, he has got something to offer. That's now having those people.
And documenting the
circle. Yes, some of them they had gone for they had got a direct entry to the university. So when you look at your circle, you realize I'm the one who is left out. At least in the degree, even when you sit before people, you have a point to argue. You can talk.
You can start as from the lowest with it. It is
Mhm.
very encouraging kukutikira ability from certificate.
So
mtu akeza kuira nilipata nikaingia university. No. Anza kama Onesmus. Wewe ara nitaanza kama hivyo, tumarenye example. Nitaanza kama Onesmus. Niende nikipanda.
So while I was in my diploma level, by God's grace, I got a privilege to serve in Kikuyu Methodist. So Kikuyu Methodist nienda serve when I was attached in Kikuyu. So the document attachment. Then the one who was serving there was Reverend Faith Gitonga. Then document
mwithira the wife na ndere ngi Gitonga no wikirite gikinyanja.
Actually remwe twaragia nkabera, it was just a continuation. Ukona aria twarikirie na Gitonga. Nontu menya Gitonga gintu ambiraga nao nontu kurealize who you are. Why don't you get to the certificate in theology? Namwira no. Nontu my grandfather is pressuring me. Let me do the certificate in building. Then I will get back to you when I will be doing my diploma. So instead of getting back to Gitonga, I get back to Gitonga in the other on the other side to his better half. So when I got in Kikuyu, they go attachment. Reverend Faith Gitonga noe at a leave. So I was left in charge of the church. During that time, she had told me, now you can do what you does best.
Failure is never in your terminologies.
Itinya ke dictionary eko. So I did. By then when she was on leave, that's when I did the Kesha. I had a Kesha during when she was on leave. I had with the help of Dr. Kirema, he was the chairman then. So the leadership vantetheria kuthithia some projects in the church. And Rev Naida ejaga to confirm if things are going on well. When she came back, the church leadership said now since now they have seen something, I can go on serving under the youth. I can go on serving in the youth ministry. And that's how I became the youth pastor in Kikuyu Methodist. I volunteered to be the youth pastor in Kikuyu Methodist. And uniona andika Irene Karamuta Masaki. Niona hivi.
Naenda kuchokia nyuma.
Utulimana, yes.
Safari eje yonde. Tutigire mamhio kwa after boy kwa durano na area W7. Sorry. Dairo gwikonyeri. This journey ntamuigwa.
Na nyanda biko manyota mu.
Na yo dad ntamuigwa ndaigwa. Jojo kuno gwikena agwira renda utweka engineer. Presence yao inayetire.
After they ko manyeri. Ndejire my dad na gwita ko kuchwa. Na gwita kuthuja coast. When I came from Nyeri, ntije no amujire ndejire. So she came. And she came okay, I don't like saying this, but she came with a lot of drama. Mara kwa chief, dandini kidu kwa chief, ngiro mwana kwa. They were sponsored ni Compassion. My mom was against. She filed even a case into Compassion. And okay, I deny my dad na my mom. But now my grandmother no have very unique Compassion. So the case about the father even they could deal. So that's how now my dad withdrew. Finally now I was told to stay with my grandparents. So my dad kaida choka coast. So we were just communicating with my dad. Later my dad married. He married another wife. So we didn't have time to stay with my dad's wife. Better cost. The only thing that we were having is the communication, but mostly it was happening between my dad and I. My mom, my stepmom, the effectiveness of a parent to a child is when the child is young. That child will feel you at that moment. But when you let the child when akifika to 16, to the mentorship of our parents ends at 16. Akinya 16, okay, I'm talking now from the knowledge that I have gained in the psychology part. Akinya 16, the mentorship of a parent until now when the child will come to be shaped by the world. But what you taught that child at the young age, it becomes very relevant. Either very relevant. So the child, personally, totally in interaction with my parents at my young age. My grandfather aramboga kunia anchuria ke trans ya nyumba aimpuraga no mtu I think bibi arungamire katikati kauni na kabete prison inyaunyo kwenye unyo ntagu ari nayo ndaigagwa tu ndaigwa nyumba ya ingwa kana ndero ita bedroom yetu au rungu kwe gantu kare weje yako ndamenyaga na runtu kunethukire kariu. But it shaped me. Na no kumenya as a mother, never let a child have the gap of mother in life, especially a boy child. We'll always try to feel it with anyone who comes across in life. So only day class 4, no, day class 2, I had a girlfriend. to make the matter worse, that girlfriend of mine was my neighbor. To add the nini. Kongera kumbe ku. Ndatika kwanza antonkaria kwetu ngeta kwao. So
class 2.
That is class 2.
Ole taito.
So mzee je kurealize watoto uma inyako ko tuthingataga umite
we're crazy in love.
We atamenya mbuna ngaona naruire akamenya muthaka imvi atumageta kwa itha utuku wankageja ogeja thainya cio utuku.
Then class 2.
That is class 2. Tugeta kwao tukaruga tukaria rimwe nyendaga tumama ku
na kwao urara no
nticoka gwato nke
chiari na baba kagwate ninlo
story upatenda gomigu nai oninkejo tuko menya bibi antuma genya pende kurara nao ikenda mbeja roju ntagu bateku ikenda njoka nja nai bateku nontu muthenya nkumenya batithirwa baiku pe mantu ya kanisene uku na kule lakini naenda choko tuko ndacokere ntugu emwe too much aigua hapana, you have gone beyond borders now. Ipuro ria ndaero ntugu uyu mwankana
kono Amerika no mwankana
nai ndikurikia u now that's now the affection of my parents and I yet I can decrease. Now when my dad got a son and a daughter through my stepmom, so now only na interacting with my father mo nogwe ya decrease yani kuniga tu pole. On my mom's side, my mom noe kwe guitar ya kinyere de class I think I was in class 2. Na my mom ka ambetaira nari njirene bwejete mbumita school. So my mom ake ambeta ambera ampa something but mostly ampeja ka 10 bob. So yakinyere guitar ampa a 10 bob. I'm totally confused. Ndeta school I'm catching nothing. Njandeja na that 10 bob nonto ndejaga nayo kanenkera jojo nkamwera imama ampa nainda andi nyande kure komwita mama ndeja nkabera imere ampa na ito ejanja twindo tiya kugwatana no ungi weird oe nare unge nare jojo bate kwenda kuita ungi yani tutukugwatana twinde. So when it got to that point, my grandfather ambetera njirene kenda menya 10 bob mpesa kwa niena
na kwa jantu kucho
so ekwe jandeja ndekumara ngarine elokunu centro akandame ba nkorokete iro mama ambeta kenda onenkera komide anenkagira. My grandfather akenjira and my grandfather amwariria muno bacokaniria u mwanka ekuru bathoko banji kwaga imbithena na iro my grandfather aberire imbibio tuma ba Pedro Ben na that commotion. So ekuru bathoko bamugira mwanketa. So from then until when I was in Karumu tutaonana kaire. I knew yes there is a mother but tutaonana kaire kuma until now when I was in Karumu. Niko the ndeka Karumu kari connected by her brother's son, the son of her brother. No I am connected mwira ndeka Karumu. But no, it was very painful nontu we achokere echire re nkurikia school Karumo. That time now you can't be told anything. You are grown up. Otiwe obera ni. So ndamwirire everything. Ndamwarairia tu nontu.
You know that in your feelings hakuna.
I don't ntena guts. Siakora mwakwira anything. So I apologize. Ndamwigerwa tu kiao. Ancheka hiki amurungu tu igana. Tandere with my mom. My dad we kept on talking, communicating. Bekuma kinya bekuma coast. Still we kept on communicating, and that's how we stayed with my dad and my mom. But the people who have been key, so much key in that session of life until now has been my grandparents. Now the other part is that also the brothers, my uncles and my aunt, they came in. So they have been pushing my life while they are a family, the whole family now taking me to be I'm a son to all of them. My aunt, my uncle, the other uncle, not to they are four. So my aunt, my uncle, and the other uncle, they took me now, but now we can go on with him. And that's now how the family, the background and everything has been.
That's why you are here today.
And also the community, the society, because the church has also contributed so much in my life. Wanincho na yetu kanisani ukaoa mporo ndayira sandaka kanisani yetu Bishop Amiraki Methodist Church. Day Sunday school indatalaga sandaka na ndatarira sandaka ndiroya to 22 ndirekera Mungu na 20 uchi yakinyaga manager ile ndachanga ndekera Mungu umarite mwalimu uri ari osande tuko ari masegitile etoteka ona ai
naruo to itakabo
alafu Murungu no ako exposaga just oni na kurita gwakwa ndaandikire mbeca exact ile cia iti lakini ile ndatiga kathatine minus 200 ile ndakamata so hatara mbeca ona nate mbeca ite kungana so marambitite ngite gomiuko toba utozuriko na to distributed muko jo na ndekerete nkorika na tuko ndekerete kithiri kuota na ikiaria miuko inyana so ndare nkamatite mbeca bwega tele account ni nkamatite ndi banka mbere kiumia kiambiriria nyamutumiria uria atumiragia ntugo aitere ngaon ejo mpora ndauriro ikanisa mwanka ndaigua kanisa yo kairente koroeja kina iko kuwa rita kanisa ni ko chongi
Chonge Methodist
aigo te ko ndego ta kanisa ne ko dama otiga yo ta kanisa ne nange.
You have been a young pastor. Ni challenges ili kukurukirite kuitiro we in church na ke ministry we mto mwevi.
Wow. Challenges to ministry are so many.
Vital the
One day I was sharing with a lady about Onesmus. Why are you so much passionate towards the church matters and the ministry? And it is because of one thing. Murungu narua ke gompira narua ntio tarira makosa ithio rio kwenda as a young person
Otonya maukuna
no ko butiri ma roke ringus tia ko idro ke thoma In being a young person, one, sometimes you're brought things that you don't have an experience in. I was sharing with the Reverend another day, Damwiraga, I had 2 cases, whereby one lady, a lady who is married, came and she had her problems, and so she shared just kwaria na pastor, and I took time to help her. After Kumuteria talking her to a point where I told her, now I will refer you to the senior pastor so that he will help you. Okay, there are many cases which have come, but that one was very unique. On to Inquetikia to Ashamaneria Road 4 or 5 times. So that now we go step by step, step by step. Then, in the Kinyaki Modifa, Nkemorifa, Aigua Jaga, Tutigano, Baba. I need to still have that connection. I still need to have that interaction. I feel warm when I'm around you. Now, that's a challenge. And then there is something we call transferency. Transferency is whereby you transfer like the emotions. You transfer the emotions from you to the the counselee transfers the emotions which she has to the counselor. But still, you remain to be the pastor, 1. 2, you remain to be a mentor, you remain to be a counselor. Now, your cross transference has come. Mamo alikuwa ntiombo kutiga mantoja uombira sawa lakini ambuge kedro ate kuonoka nalo kedro ndena mama onge kedro ndena sponsor onge moto Friday cha ukaraga nyomba kuona movie na hiyo ni manto ja kwira kwa angande msoto anga komrenda minama
Tengo oringereza
Irene kedro korong tumete kirasine nimetoka class
sina tuma ya meals
kedro tuena good time and great moments. The other challenge is also one of I have come to realize one of the hardest thing is to mentor. Mentoring is our ingugi. Some children not to dealing with the youth, they also deal with the Sunday school, the JCTM. Some children they come and they are like, Pasi, you are my mentor. In other ones, you have to remember to maintain the dignity for this child. You have to be whom this child looks at and says that ikitu mwenye alinifanya ni Pasi. Just like I'm saying that I've got people who no ore aukereria njara kedra ataya ata aukereria njara tije kwa kiuga. And today actually nyari reverend ateko otege rempa jana benediction oni otimbona Kenya na benediction bigagwa kabisa ntokeretia njara bando nteke
the image is still there.
Yes. I usually just feel let me lift the hands and bless these people. The other challenge is now when you are single in the ministry and you have not maybe given people this is the one whom I'm moving with behind the scenes. A lot of challenges. There are some people who will tell you ladies themselves, they are like, oh my, this amazing guy akuja anatuongelesha points mpaka una feel this guy has handled my problem. This guy who is lifting the hands manyari mwenye ukeretia njana au kanto mateka oh my ngoda hari
ngente weta kibara neke Ibrahim
let them mark that ke Ibrahim the last challenge is urona kwe gintu nderaga some of my friends ndaberaga uni na suti tutendene tudurene muno enya jojo na ijo jojo chale sometimes nandinga ira kampuria naro no ikirite tai muntu naichie ai Onesmus but nae because okay, yes, I'm a youth pastor. I have to mix it all so that I will fit in this one. I will also be able to handle the other part. Now, youth around the sometimes they will see you. So sometimes they need to see huyo mtu ako na khaki, t-shirt, umevaa blazer, but umevaa blazer ukiwa umekala crash, iba konta poni mtu byonde. But na yeye iko buhando babwe. Ibo kondo mbona tu kwa sakramenti.
Ne wikirite ta pastor wetu wa mama. Tuyenda wikirite suti ugekira na takage kairwa to.
Ntuko na ntuko.
Ugekira kara kage kairwa ge suti kega papo uchoko tunyongera taye black.
Imagine.
So we want you to be that decent.
Na nonto no mionaga ni kyo ntonta pera. Nonto no mionaga ikyo ntonta pera.
Dile to kule sakramenti. Are you look okay.
Inkaraga po.
Kabisa na unya mixing the dress code hivyo uko sawa.
No kwa nayo wekere ubona kande sasa. It takes God's grace.
Inakupeanga stress.
Ukeza kumenya ore ndombaga ithenya nangu kana nyomba. Ithenya nangu kinya nyomba.
Wita.
Ikenda tu bigwata yewe kuma. Ndena kigoti.
Ayena ndio on behalf of wa mama na tafadhali wa mama imbiji batere kana na. On behalf of them. Nisona to maraka nsene goreki. Nyongora taiwa tindo sureti. Ugekira moko. Tunakuelewa. Menya that time dita na mehawe ikire tai nkumenya urokumanisha. You look so serious. Such that kinya your age mate baron hi Onesmus hatuwezi mu approach mimi tu dokita nerete ke youth.
So this lady ndamwira the reason why I'm passionate with Christianity ino ntobobiri ndendete kwa mbere mbonoka nasari A nasari B ndendete kwa jeshi nasari A nasari B class 1 class 2 ndendete kwa jeshi. The reason ndendete kwa jeshi there is an uncle of mine who is a soldier in the Kenya Defense IK Army. So le mwana jaga kashare his stories. So he is my uncle on the side of my grandma, a cousin to my dad. So his father ne jaga Mr. Kaloma. Kaloma na ejaga akaeja na story tia kwa jeshi kukaraga. Kwanza ndaigwa na ikwe na njobi otheri. Irio na uyu otheri. Neko gintu kiri ndaigirwe ndaigwa bus gokinya. Kwena ari botheri.
Yeah.
Ndaigirwo ndamenya bus. Oni? Murungu na mbendete Irene. Na kere gombonokia ari anti nontoni ntono kere after the accident. That's all nontono kere. Akire gombonokia u. Akire kakinga kira that ngakuma teenage.
Uri ako
Tionoki. Eu yedro story ko etano.
So dinga teno naramo na that something.
Kabisa. Mbona todo toke tore una. Then indadhoki mwanka okay yes indari church boy but behind the scenes oria Sunday school bari atware abo some of them maybe may watch bari atwina boke youth dai ba I think bomo be kanisa na dai bange be school but baoria behind the scenes of Sunday school what was happening. So and nine ko jeshi bana cha ujombe and I gave a bus okinya When I got to class 3, ndenda kwa engineer. Bibi antomere benda kwa engineer. Ni ate
Kage o consider tu mantas tu okay.
ni ate BJ engineers. Engineers. Ngoma nyothe kana ino kugwata nate kwenda ikuga. Na yani ndathuki arimu pa Sunday school bari ona imbugi. I think mwarimu ambonere nthuki ni Imasi Ogetire.
Apologize to those two. Apologize arimu wa Sunday school.
Oh.
They are bringing up an innocent boy. Mwarimu agitara igwa kenda kwa ijini wantu koragwo ari na another world. Kena you are inside want.
Oni amba apologize kire arimu ponge pa Sunday school. Nonto twana tonu po turetaga bwega na po atonia pastor wa Sunday school ari Onesmus.
Ni wore primary.
Actually oni Joshua Kobie Kiunga ni nari naije school wengenda pastor wa school na Onesmus. Lokunu santuru akandame, I was the darling of the manager. Mtoiche kaza naka kono.
Nakitu mtoto.
Na yako kagetete. Yo kaurerua lokunu no ni na girlfriend ngweta gukara kwa mwanga ithano cio tuko. Don't forget that. Twari na mwari etagwa Clara. Very innocent. Mwari wa acha number 1 ka number 2. Nda number 2 next time ninka number 1. Kuro ya kinyire number 1 twice. Twamena na anje ikurira. Nonto na kumenya what was going on behind the scene. Class 1, 2, 3. Class 3 twamena na kwa prefect. Atu ambandika ndamwira na ito tendereo. Ntemenya, I don't know. Kuma toi kwa tukana class 4, I don't know where each one went.
Clara, it broke his heart.
The reason why I'm passionate in the gospel and in everything is that nonto inkomanya ndathuki mwanka baria bathuki bambere inthuki. I want to be good until those who are good they tell me I'm good. So I will work tirelessly. I will sacrifice everything it needs to be sacrificed. I will do everything it takes for me to do it. But I must make sure nyabade babuge they will say mtona babuge. And you see maybe today I may not be as vocal as I want, but I will work tirelessly that when I go 6 feet under I will be as vocal as possible. We know Nelson Mandela because he died. They are alive to Tamuiti. We know Jomo Kenyatta because he died. They are alive until actually Gabarera. Moi, the easy repeat to the Gari Motoka. I think Yakona. Then when but he is gone. You speak louder when you are normal. That's when you speak loudest and people hear you. That's when your mission is hard. So personally, and I look forward to dying empty. Completely empty. Like mkoejana mwankanda edhirwa kinya my mind. There is someone who can tell you what my mind is. Young as I am. That is what I'm looking forward to.
Hey, man, it's once you're up Bundi. Akupundeza upole gukura weka humanize hatari sana.
Oni bwa
Nenya thai mbuga nugera yo karika na wasona.
Are.
Nikaumera na karo.
The other day twatirimanira na takainge au. They are friends of mine and Amiro in Dogoto. Pambero tageria the other side of the world we want to testaga.
Vera no gereri.
Harinta berero. Taberere the day I will try. Murungu akampura kawengo. He thinks that God has took me through. Na umbita somewhere umbeka angi. I think God has taken me through thick and thin for me to be the honest master. Nyongo kwera atiri that gap of a mother.
No gere go feel.
till today I usually feel that gap personally. The manu karako nonto ndikanaga ndiraringa mwaria araideka a slap nonto wako
primary
actually in that class is it two nonto wako mbira nitaambia mama yangu
ni ule bera
mbira lakini nitaambia mama yangu ndege nayo utonga ntware mtonga bo. I slapped that lady and I apologize to you kindly. Sikumbuki jina yako but I apologize. Damuringira araireka. Nonto I was feeling that hiyo kitu ya mama hiyo haiko, it is not there. I want to be friendly to ladies because I feel when I am close to her and she speaks that soft voice. Ya nere okoro ukare kana otire. Okoro kababa kikula ni dai. Hiyo ukewoni. I think kinya these things that you see me today I have taught myself as time has been going. I was very rough. Mtonte chwana to kaigwa. However you will feel that too, but I will tell you what there is. Wewe shauri yako.
Utapambana.
Shauri yako wewe pambana na mambo yako. So that's the Onesmus. The good part of Onesmus has just begun immediately. Decorating my high school. And so still I was born again the whole of that period, but I was still struggling with the life that I had adapted earlier. Where you are struggling with things that here, there, blah blah blah. And maybe I may speak a secret. Anto quick a secret into yako. There is a lady who was my girlfriend. So when she became my girlfriend, we stayed a story. Later on, she came and I don't know how things happened. I don't know anything about her. But later on, her friends, hey, niaje kwa sana. Demi yako anatafuta pills za kutoa mimba. Mashallah. Daigwa bas. Naye unore unikaga kaiwa ukwa. Ari utaga kuwa bandu kainyo ikunya kuko thoro yiku kaiwa geku. Later on we met with her when she was very thin. There were some of my friends who ambira, tulikwambia. I don't know because I don't know either. But that happened. Let me tell the young people out there who may view this story and they view themselves as bad boys of the day. It doesn't mean anything to be a bad boy. And the things that you have gone through, have a lesson from it. Then rise up having that lesson inside you. Maybe if God didn't take me through that, Arua, you the Babu Nankerete. But that's tell God to teach you something out of it. Get out of it. There is nothing that is unforgivable. Everything is forgivable. And it's only forgivable when you accept God in your life. And you just move with Him. Let Him direct you now into the ways that He wants you to be in. Then when you go, weta njira ira mwathani akwenda riwe, uria finally go realize, na uboko gento fulani ndakolokere. Na uboko gento fulani ndabithirie. Note ya kumenya, maybe ombai kore kumenya maybe ongo bia karekere during that time. But rira wakinyara murungu akwenda wikia, you will see the glory of God and the grace of God. Nontoni I usually take that to be makosa. I usually take it was a lesson to me. Nonto God had seen earlier on. Na rio tegera ko youth mbekete somewhere. Nora aba pastor during a certain season, the Onesmus. Kwe Sunday school mbikite somewhere. Rake driver pastor Onesmus. And in order for him to shift, we are in the high school. In order for him to shift away, and that's when the things about Angambi and my mother Angambi, that's when the Angambi and Auga, because they want to go on the mother na kare everything I don't want. Wakai kabisa.
Let me tell you now. Mukona kuga Ugambire. You can let them stay. You have not healed. It will get to a point, something will trigger it. So be prepared.
Healing of that part.
That's trauma. Childhood trauma.
The child's trauma. My uncle.
Ewe kuga no zambire. No kona ukeja kuiguro ikudamba. When you forgive them, it is so hard to interact with them.
My parents. My mom, I forgive her.
You know there is forgiveness and forgiveness.
What is forgiveness and what is forgiveness? My mom, menyare to already, and I'm already out there by wanting to talk. My mom well, reason sometimes in Karagan, what is the reason behind they can don't leading into flani? And now did something just come automatically how it was supposed to come. In a way, Bonaga Murungun attendaga Buma in the academic academic prison, not to meta academic prison, not to I was not willing to do that thing. I was just doing it for the sake of doing it. So that in a certain time that Murungu yangu amekite maybe ija tuweze kuchemania na my mom toaria my dad toaria. So today I do call them. And they talk so well. But now you see the story will still remain to be the story. It will never going to change into the story. It will change, you know. That anjari muipe tato akarambina dad atokaria. And sometimes I do ask him questions like, how did this happen? How did that happen? So that to help me to keep up from having the same mistake coming in my life. So I don't feel a lot. I don't feel there a lot of pain. I don't feel pain when we talk with my parents. I actually feel I'm very free with them now. But now there is where to kaya to tiomba iko itatokinya at a point. Yes. Yeah.
That is okay.
Mambo ako kugalinyo connect man to sa mweka ona ga.
By the way, I've been doing that.
When you are used to someone, okay, like sometimes kwa no tutabia tunatoka wapi. Kuna mtu anafanya hivi. So maybe now you are answering your questions.
Chokia kya kwande kori ko. Kumbe kai no kauma. I was doing that. I don't got either, but I have been answered. Onesmus.
I was telling my colleagues in the institution, I prayed God something. Let him give me the marks of life that I will not be speaking out of holier than thou. But I will be speaking to show people you can get out of that ditch. That very shallow part. Then Antwara ukuikua. I want to buy kumarenki. No matter what there is teomba, kinyankenda teomba. But there's a murungu tevia that nkomba ikuiranto no ume anto no keja. You can fall the first time you rise. You fall the second time you rise. The third time you rise.
Again the fifth.
But make sure the seventh time it will be your time to shine. The seventh time, make sure you shine. No mtoke kapore mugwanja. No kaune kaane.
Ukubira.
Uteku kairi. So mtombeki kwa ndonere ndi plus. Mtombeki kwa makairi nini. Ndonere ndi plus. Na ru arenda te con graduate December.
December.
Bachelor in theology. A product of D+. Ndombe kuga nderi ntena mami ntena baba nderi yojo bairi.
So ibwega sana nonto bakwitekeria kweza na ibwega nonto bagushare rukono rwaku. I know the way it has taught me and the way it has inspired me na kumbitana 1, 2, 3 things na there's a way I have learned where someone can mtu naringa U-turn. Meo U-turn oringere. Someone can make a U-turn with the direction no kamwano. Kambeje nyampamberi arankumete, then I look for a direction that I want to go. That is what I have learned. That's one someone can do. Nenye mbijonge nonge akumaona lesson ingi. So ibwega sana muntu bwa witikire kweza. Please organize what idea youth by nyake mitandao yao. Talk to them. Ayuthi bakwaga antu bakobalire mwana menya youth they are getting depressed. Nonto many people tanto baba ingibere abantu babezi. Na barana bo nyamo sheri no kuza mosheri mwana aliza kwira ntekwenda wita school yo. Ntekwenda uchoka school fulani tugera thoma school na ntekwenda uchoka school. Uwa as a parent wetako kuona school ira ni njega. This is the best school na the best school maybe for your daughter or son. Otegwitekeria kwamba kuthikira mwana na mwana mbwinya tena courage ya ku express ke uwe. So anabari iba kwenda mentorship na iba kwenda nya closeness as someone else who they can open up to. Kenda getha maybe even to etona school akireka school ethira nerite maybe Pastor Onesmus oni indirere my mom and my dad ndekwenda school maybe there is gayism or there is lesbianism kana other things mwana ura kona nkendelea na school hizi they will corrupt my morals. So as a youth pastor aim to inspire and motivate and above all mentor these youth. But to agora to take mentor. No, life was mentoring. Only life mentored me by force.
I make a promise. Maybe them who will be following the Facebook. Next time I'm doing a topic by retracing the route. How you can retrace the route back and move on in the next direction. So for those who follow me on Facebook, that's the topic that they will handle next. We keep connecting. For them who need to connect more, we need to be taken through more. Connect.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I hope torekeria I kuendelea na other things next time we shall get time nikienda tukiendelea. Thank you so much nontobago tuthingatira na ibwega nontobago subscribe ibwega nontobago support yaku till next time kirugona rungi mbitawa Irene Karamuta Masaki tukari na my pastor
Onesmus Bundi Morioki.
Thank you.
Pastor Onesmus Bundi.
No diga kaumona.
I made a sana ki reverend. So
your goal is at the end. All the best. All the best in everything you do.
Thank you. Pelaganto, when you see my life, see the doing of the Lord. Nothing more. If you
Thank
have
you.
anything else to see, that's for yourself.
Kabisa. Bye. See you kireru gonarurungi.
Thank you.